What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to episode number 364 of the Smark Moment Smack Talk podcast. I need to change that up because we're potentially not doing the numbers anymore, but fuck it, I still haven't figured it out yet. So that's what the intro is, and I'm still going to keep saying that. And who am I? I am your host as always, Tony Mango, and joining me as always is Robert D. Felice.
How you doing tonight, Tony?
Not too bad in the grand scheme of things. Could complain. Nobody wants to listen. That's a better way to put it.
Well, I am a guy who has watched the 2018 WarGames match 3 times already. I've seen it 3 times.
Damn good match.
Damn good match.
Damn good pay-per-view. Better than Survivor Series. So, this is the hot tags of the week, where we're going to be breaking down a bunch of things that happened over the past couple of days in World Wrestling Federation. Why did I say World Wrestling Federation? Am I that brain dead? What the hell? Wow. I've said the same hot tags intro for, I don't know, how many years? Jesus.
Well, hey, we're going to be here talking about the World Wrestling Federation Survivor Series.
Let's go back to the question of how am I? And apparently brain dead. That's the answer. No, what we're going to be talking about is things that have happened for the entire scope of professional wrestling, but mostly just WWE because that's pretty much what I follow. And if somebody was like, did you see what happened in like PFW or something? I'll be like, I've never heard of that. But gossip stuff, rumors, news, anything else that we want to report about. Maybe we'll just go back in time and talk about Skinner or something else from WWF days. Just like, hey, you hear about Bob Backlund? He beat Bret Hart.
That's a good match.
So we got a lot of things to get into here, even though we just talked about a bunch of Survivor Series things and a bunch of TakeOver stuff. We're not going to be talking necessarily about that. We'll touch a little bit on some of those things here and there, but this is the hot tags. This is different. So let's talk about 2 specials that were on the WWE Network this week. One of them was WWE Chronicle on Dean Ambrose, and the other one was 365 about AJ Styles. Did you watch both?
I did watch both, actually.
What did you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Thumbs up, both of them, I thought.
About thumbs in the middle for 365 on Styles. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as the Kevin Owens one. So if I was going to say watch one of these if you only have a little bit of time, I would say Chronicle, because that really kind of helped show, I don't know if it's like on purpose or not, but Dean Ambrose came off like a dick. So is this like in character? Or
I took that as it's a very fine line between in character and, you know, what's real. And it made the turn look so much better.
Yeah, because you could see a little bit of frustration in him. You can kind of understand that he's just kind of not digging where his position is right now. And I mean, I like that one. I thought that one was pretty good.
It also gave me a feeling like he knew the Roman stuff, because you couldn't really tell whether he was talking about his own position or Roman when he said, I'm just trying to enjoy all of this because you never know when it'll be your last time teaming with somebody or facing somebody. So I kind of got the feeling like he knew. Like maybe something was up.
Well, it's hard to tell which things they filmed at last and first and stuff, you know?
That's true.
So, like, I know that there was like that reflective shot of him in the desert, and that seemed like it was early on, but then he's referencing things that hadn't happened if it was earlier on, so it's kind of hard to tell, and they could just do pickup shots and stuff too, but the main way that we don't know is he's got the same short haircut throughout the entire thing, so it's not like, you know, oh, it's Dean Ambrose with longer hair, and then he comes back to short hair, then back to long hair and whatever. But he did a good job in that, whether it was just in character or maybe he is just like that, which if he is, that's a whole different set of problems.
I really hope he is. Like, he seems so genuinely annoyed
at everything in life.
By the phone call to come to Raw. He's like, I've been in the back of the game 30 seconds and I'm already pissed off.
So, yeah, what was this part with he gets the phone call and he hangs up and he says something like, now you decide to call.
I assumed that was him referencing Seth Rollins, being like, "Oh, now you need me, Seth." That's why I thought it was half in character, because it did seem like that was a complete in character moment. Because I would imagine that Triple H or Carano or whoever it would be would basically say, like a month in advance. But then again, maybe not. Like maybe they did just call him, 48 hours before, and they're like, "Hey, never mind, we want you at this Raw, and we're gonna have the Shield come back at the Raw after."
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's what's good about this was I don't know if it was real or fake. And I'm sure some of it was real no matter what, but like, you know what I mean? Like they towed the line for that a little bit. So that was really, I like that a lot. The 365 one Styles, I didn't quite dig it as much because it just, I mean, some of the footage was just kind of bland to me. Like the most interesting part about it to me was probably the beginning of it. And I actually watched it in 2 chunks. I watched the first half of it, and then I watched the next half of it earlier today. But it didn't really do anything for me, and I'm still so weirded out by Michael Rappaport doing this.
Yeah, you might be able to help me out here, because he's been doing the Raw previews and stuff, and I'm like, okay, but where would I know him from outside of that kind of stuff?
I know he's an actor. I know he's been in a couple different things, but I don't know about like a specific thing that he's known for. Let me double check if there's like a go-to. Let's see. The War at Home. No. Boston Public. No. He was in Friends. Oh, I wouldn't remember that. Prison Break. Justified. Atypical. I don't even know what Justified and Atypical are. He was in True Romance. He was in Deep Blue Sea. The Sixth Day. Yeah, nobody remembers that. He's just like one of those dudes that's just kind of like, oh yeah, Michael Rappaport. He was in, what was he in? Like, that kind of thing.
He's been in a lot of that. Yeah. It's hard to say what I would definitely know him from, because he's been in a lot.
Looking at his TV list, he's done like one episode of a lot of different things. He was on The Big Bang Theory for an episode. He was on Louis, Blackish, Royal Pains. I've heard of some of these shows. Chappelle Show, he was on an episode. First episode. Huh.
That's one of the best.
Chappelle Show. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a bad thing, the 365. Like, I wouldn't like crap all over it. I wouldn't be like, if you watch this, it's a waste of your time. But I gotta say, if I had to pick one to recommend, I would pick the Chronicle one.
Yeah, I think the 365, it's kind of like along the same lines of, hey, did you know that AJ Styles was never supposed to be in WWE? And hey, can you believe that he actually made it to WWE? Like that's the basis of his 365.
Yeah, and if you've seen any footage of any of that stuff, you already got the gist of that. It wasn't anything different. Yeah, you got a little bit of backstage stuff of like some info of like his kids' personalities, but it's like
the Paul Heyman thing was cool.
Yeah, I like that part. That was part. That was part. That was a good part. Should have used the adjective there. It's just that was a part. Yeah, I'm gonna pull a Drew here. That was a match. Well, pretzel sprouts. So speaking of the WWE Network, there is a little bit more of stuff happening with the Performance Center. This technically isn't the WWE Network, but it's going to tie into something. One thing is that they created a new YouTube channel, and this is focusing on the Performance Center. They've had a couple of videos up recently. They've had people interviewed a little bit before the WarGames match, and some little like profile type things. But I'm going to tie this in with a different story that doesn't have as much going on for it right now. It's just kind of rumors, but there is a little bit of speculation that they might create another brand, and that it's going to be the Performance Center crew. The YouTube channel, I think, is a great idea, because the WWE YouTube channel puts up enough content that things get lost in the shuffle. And it's just cool that they can kind of like focus on, the Otis Dozovic is doing something or whatever. I do not like that idea of that extra brand. Hoping that that's not
Yeah,
right.
we keep getting these rumors of, hey, they're gonna do an NXT Germany and an NXT Japan, and it's like, that's not necessary. You know, the UK, it's kind of cool. If they wanted to do a Japanese thing, I can see the reason for it with them being a market, but I really don't think we need to start being like, hey, here's all these fragmented versions of NXT.
Well, that's a different animal, because that's another story too, is that they might be opening up a performance center in Japan. And that I don't necessarily think is a bad idea, but if they do create NXT Japan, these things are going to get watered down over time. I don't even think NXT UK is a good idea, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit too. But just this idea in general of doing a performance center show is fundamentally flawed, I think, because those people come up to the NXT roster. And if you show them working on their way up there, it's going to expose the problems a little bit more.
It might just be breaking ground, but on YouTube.
Breaking ground would be great. I'd be totally cool with that. But if they actually try to make it a brand, like they actually have like the Performance Center Championship, that's going to suck.
That'd be dumb. Like, I don't understand how that, like, logically, you can't have a brand of your warehouse where you're trying to develop talent. Like,
yeah. Because it's just, they're learning the basics right now. You can't trust them to put on pay-per-views. Or even just TV shows, you know?
It could just be, 30 minutes of drills or whatever.
Oh, that'd be boring as hell.
This is what it takes to be a WWE Superstar, which is great content for aspiring wrestlers and great content for people who are at a lower level in the industry, but I don't know if that's something that everybody's going to watch. Speaking of content on like YouTube and social media, did you hear about the Mixed Match Challenge Season 1 and all of the views that they got?
No, what was that about?
Oh, hold on, let me pull up the actual number here. Because I think they released some reports, and the Mixed Match Challenge, just for Season 1, which, by the way, I didn't think was good at all, got... Just pulling this up here. Got about,
8 viewers.
No, I wish. Sorry, gotta go through all my Slack stuff for WrestleZone. Okay, so they did more than 35 million views in the United States alone.
Is that for the entire season?
For the entire season of Season 1.
I don't know if that's, in context, good or bad.
I think it's pretty good. Because we don't know what the other views are. And we know that the WWE is big in a lot of other places, like where they tell you to change the date of Raw to Wednesday and the color to pink.
I don't want to see that either. I don't want to see Mixed Match Challenge come back anymore. But I do like the Performance Center YouTube channel. Like, out of all these things that we're just talking about, I do like that. Have you checked out their content there?
I love it. I think that they're doing really good content. I loved all the WarGames stuff. Did you watch? You probably don't watch the whole 3 hours of it, but they did a nice video of the WarGames cage being built, and I thought that was really cool. And I think it's really cool that they have the VR cameras inside the WarGames structure. So at some point we could see a virtual reality release of the WarGames match.
Was that the live stream of them building it?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, I wouldn't sit there and watch that, and I probably wouldn't even put it on in the background, but it is kind of interesting, because it's is it really that hard for them to just put up a camera? Some people will watch it, that's cool.
I think it's, like you said, you don't have to watch the whole thing, but just to be able to kind of see what goes into it, because for so long, it's really always been oh, well, here's this fucking cage.
The most information we get is dum 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 dum, which I fucking love. They need to release that.
So I don't know. I think the Performance Center YouTube channel is great. I think anything that enhances NXT and NXT's production values are fantastic. And yeah,
But
I
just
think
don't
it'll
do
be good things.
Just don't do a brand.
Yeah, I don't understand that. But then again, they are trying to be Disney.
Yeah, that's true. So speaking of that, I mean, where you can talk about NXT UK, the Triple H has teased a little bit. He said that there's a big announcement coming in the first quarter of 2019, which, I mean, it has to be a pay-per-view, right?
Well, it should be like, guess what? NXT UK is getting its own show that's going to be part of WrestleMania weekend, and there's another show you have to watch.
If they do that, it's going to be so much overkill. I'm just kind of assuming that it'll be either...
Well, don't they go to the UK, like, following Mania?
Like the tour after that, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that would seem to point in that direction, though, because they can't film NXT UK in, like, Georgia. You know, it's just, it's not going to work out that way. There would have to be some kind of plan when it comes to that. So maybe we can figure that out based off of that. I mean, if they have some kind of a game plan as far as, like, some tour coming up around there, that would have to be when it would be, right? I mean, I'm looking...
That would be a good idea, though. An NXT UK tour, like, just, you know, take all of the talent there, because they are the biggest names in the UK scene. So that might be nice.
So right now on the tickets and events page, they have a big gap. It's WrestleMania is Sunday the 7th of April, and then the next thing that's listed is Thursday, May 9th, which is in Belgium. And then it's Finland and Sweden and Oslo. We got Paris. We've got Germany. So it seems like they might have blocked that off a little bit. And if that's true, logic would dictate that it would be at the end of April, which is at least a little bit of a time frame away from that. And just in general, if somebody says there's a big announcement coming for NXT UK and it's happening in a couple of months instead of like next week, pay-per-view has to be the big announcement, because what else is going to be? They already have the titles. Well, they haven't really done anything with the tag titles yet, but they can't just be like, a big announcement is we're having another championship. It's got to be a takeover event of some kind. NXT UK takeover something, or I don't know.
It'll be interesting. I don't think it'll be anything belt related, because it shouldn't be. Because maybe the announcement, honest to God, is, hey, look, we got these NXT UK tag titles because we're just getting around to showing these episodes that we filmed.
Maybe at that point, because they still haven't crowned a women's champion yet, even though we've known who it was.
They just debuted the belt.
Yeah.
On this most recent episode.
So in 2 weeks, I think, 3 weeks maybe, that's when we'll get to know who the champion is, who we've already known since August. It's a mess. One more story about the WWE Network before we move on to other related topics. Starrcade is happening on Saturday, and they are recording it, and they are airing it in a 1-hour special on Sunday.
That's the only stupid thing.
Yeah,
you have a network. Just show the damn show. Show it live. You have a network.
I could understand not showing it live, because if they're testing out a different type of film crew, maybe they don't want to put that like pressure on them to do that. But show the whole event. Like, what's going to be the downside of showing it? Spoiling the matches that they're not going to cut out the Braun Strowman Baron Corbin match and the Seth Rollins Dean Ambrose match or whatever. Like, I mean, actually, you know what? They might do that. It might be for the crowd that's there, and they might only do the things that aren't going to conflict with some kind of storyline. Like, was it AJ Styles against Samoa Joe. They could show that again, even though it's kind of like, well, do we need to see this for the 14th time or something? And let me bring up the card that's on there. It used to be Becky defending the title in a cage match. That's no longer the case because obviously Becky is not necessarily working with the best health right now. It's a street fight between Rollins and Ambrose for the Intercontinental title. Shinsuke Nakamura defends the United States title against Rey Mysterio. The Bar defends the SmackDown tag titles against The New Day, AJ Styles and Samoa Joe in the steel cage, Strowman and Corbin, Balor and McIntyre, and Rusev against Lana. Rusev against The Miz. So I could see them airing, if it's only a 1 hour special, airing Balor, McIntyre, Rusev, Miz, and maybe Nakamura, Mysterio.
You're going to get that concert with Ric Flair.
There's a concert with Ric Flair?
Yeah, it's Elias and Ric Flair.
Huh. All right, well, there goes my interest on some of this.
I also think that you show AJ and Joe in the cage, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Rey Mysterio wins the United States title.
I got a feeling that might happen, too. Because if they want this to be a big deal, having a title change happen there, that makes sense. And it's Nakamura. They've been crapping all over Nakamura since he won the title. It's not like it matters anymore. It's a shame.
I don't know. I like it. I think WWE should have been using the Starrcade name all along, ever since they bought WCW. But, we'll see.
I was going to write up an article about this, and I just think I'm going to be lazy and not do it and just mention it here really fast. Going to deprive myself of like $20 or $30 or whatever. My pitch for this is, if you're doing house shows, bring back In Your House. Yeah. Because going forward, Starrcade has a name to it. And even though this is not Starrcade, they're calling it Starrcade. But when you do like, some random house show in December, you can't call it like WWE House Show, but you've got the In Your House name, and that would be kind of cool to see that come back.
Yeah, update the logo a little bit, update the house set.
And In Your House was the type of thing that it was never the biggest pay-per-views. So
it was an hour and a half long, for context. These pay-per-views were an hour and a half long. That's like the length of half of Raw now. So I think it'd be nice.
Just, click on the WWE Network, go to the section of shows, go to, what is it?
It's pay-per-view.
In-ring.
WWE.
In-ring, I think it would be, yeah.
No. It's, no, because it's shows, and then it's pay-per-views, and then click WWE, and then you'll see In Your House. And yeah, they're very quick. They have some fun memories attached. That whole new generation vibe. And I think it'd be great.
So I think that's all that I had for WWE Network related stuff. Technically we can kind of add this into the mix, but this is just a quick little stupid thing. They gave out LED bracelets at TakeOver WarGames with the idea in mind, supposedly, that it would like flash different colors for different entrances and stuff, which I don't remember seeing any of that.
Nope.
So that's a dumb idea to begin with. I don't want people in the crowd looking down at their wrist because it's like, oh, Finn Balor came out, so now it's red. That's stupid. I hate this VR thing too. Like, oh, you got to tune into the kickoff because you can see the Survivor Series logo is floating towards your head. Really?
Yeah. I think it looks cool when they show, like, just for like the logos. Like, I thought for Seth's entrance, it was pretty cool to burn it down. But I don't know anyone that actually uses VR, and I don't know anyone that actually enjoys VR.
For that matter, I don't know anybody that ever used to enjoy the show VR Troopers.
Never heard of it.
Might be too old for you. That age gap. It was like a Power Rangers knockoff, which was not good.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Well, back when everybody was like, oh, crap. Power Rangers is really big. Let's try to do our Power Rangers. Yeah.
Oh boy, this does not look good.
Yeah. VR Troopers. It's really stupid.
So I would have only been 2
Yeah,
by the
there you
time it
go.
was over. Yeah.
Was it 1 season? Something like that?
It
Couldn't have been
lasted
more than that.
a year and a half. This looks bad.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't even tell you. I know there were 3 main characters. There were 2 guys and a girl. Pretty sure the girl was a blonde girl. And I think that, like, one of the names was Ryan, maybe?
apparently the girl's name was Caitlin. Yeah, Caitlin, Ryan.
Wow, I got the name right. Whoa.
It's Caitlin Starr, Ryan Steele.
Oh my
Because,
god.
you know, why not?
What was the other dude's name? Do you know
that? Let's see.
Something Strike or something.
Ryan Steele, Caitlin, Brad Hawkins. Wait, is that just the actor's name, or is that like? That sounds very, 90. Yeah, that's just the guy who played Ryan.
Now I need to look this up. This is one of those weird side things that we need to have going on. So the characters of VR Troopers. It was Ryan Steele, J.B. Reese, and Caitlin Starr.
Okay. And one of them apparently was Jason David Frank, really?
No, that couldn't have been true. Because he was Power Rangers.
Ranger.
I'm just having a flashback right now with this completely different show. This has nothing to do with anything WWE related, but what the hell, why not? We're getting into a little all talk show thing or something, which was this other show that came out, which they were trying to copy off of the success of Mortal Kombat. It was called WMAC Masters, and it was the worst thing that everybody has to check out. Anybody listening to this right now, WMAC Masters is the name of it.
Martial Arts Championship?
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
By the way, this is by the same guy who did Power Rangers.
The WMAC?
No, the VR
VR Trooper? Saban?
Yeah.
Huh. He just copied and pasted. But yeah, check out WMAC Masters, everybody, because it is the stupidest show. It's like, here's a bunch of characters pretending to fight each other. Like, if you took WWE and made it 20 times worse.
Well, I'll give you a bit of a heads up. This is on Pritchard's show about the 1994 Royal Rumble. WWE wanted to do exactly that.
WMAC Masters?
Yeah. They wanted to create a martial arts thing where there would be characters and it would be a work, but it would be like martial arts.
So stupid. I want to watch old episodes of that now. It'd just be like, God, it was terrible. It was all like, the gray wolf has entered the cage and shit. Like, it's, Anyway, Starrcade. Yeah, that's happening. So, if anybody's curious, I am not obviously doing as much coverage as I would normally do for a pay-per-view because it's not a full-on pay-per-view. So you're not going to see, like, superstars missing from Starrcade on eWrestling News or, pay-per-view point predictions coming up or something like that. I might do some kind of a post show for it, depending on what the whole scenario is of like how fun it was or whatever like that, but probably not. I wouldn't really necessarily count on it.
If it was a 2-hour show, I'd consider it.
Yeah.
But it's only an hour. I wouldn't do it.
And I'd have to make more graphics up and stuff like that. And it sounds like it's not the biggest deal in the world, but sometimes it's just, I don't want to really do all that editing. So if it's great, then we know in the future, these house show things might do that kind of a thing. But I will, at the very least, have spoilers up on the website on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'll watch the show and I'll give my thoughts on whatever we get for the broadcast and stuff. So pay attention to that. It's on the sidebar of smarkoutmoment.com. It's on the little featured player slider on the homepage too. And just stay tuned because that's something that, that could be fun.
Fun. Banned words.
Yeah. So we have an updated list of some of the banned words. It's not all of them. And I'm going to read them off here. We knew some of these before, but just to reiterate, belt. Still stupid. Because it's a fucking belt.
It's a belt.
That's like somebody gets a TV remote and they're like, no. That's not a remote. You have to call that like optical changing device or something. It's just like, it's a fucking remote. Belt's belt. You can't say feud.
Which is dumb.
Very dumb, because
I don't understand. They want the term rivalry. But oh wait, did they take out rivalry as well?
No, it's not on this list at the very least. And
Um,
I can maybe understand that Vince is looking at that as saying, well, feud makes it sound like it's more scripted, but everybody knows it's fake. So knock it off. Which, fake is one of the words. Can't say fake.
well, of course not.
But who in their right mind on the commentary team, for instance, would be going, this fake wrestling? Like, come on, you know? You can't say strap. We just mentioned about the belt. I don't know why strap. It's, if you want to throw the word out strap, right? You know, why not? What, you're gonna have a Caribbean blank match?
I think, and the other thing about this list, they're not very specific. Like, this is obviously a very contextual list.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say, you know, strap and when referring to a title belt, which I just broke the rule there because I said belt. But you know, I think if you have but then again, they don't have strap matches, do they?
They haven't in a little while.
Bull rope matches and weird
Chains
shit like
matches and stuff. You can't say kill. You can't say hate, which
you
is
can
like,
apparently say dismembered.
I can maybe understand kill because they don't want to make it seem too violent, but hate, you can't say hate. So
Yeah.
I hate you. You can't say that. Why not? Is
you know
anybody getting
what's funny?
butthurt over that?
I'm gonna point this out again because I mentioned this about WCW, how they make fun of them, but then they go ahead and do everything that they made fun of them for. ECW with the network was very clear about like, well, we didn't make it because the network didn't want us to say hate. I intensely dislike you. And now it's like WWE's doing this now. It's like we come full circle, you know?
And I mean, to a certain extent, okay. If you don't want people to say DQ, you want them to say disqualification, okay. You shouldn't ban the word, but you should tell people, look, we got a preference here. If it's a no disqualification match, call it a no disqualification match. Or, you know, the referee's going to rule that a disqualification. That makes more sense than saying a DQ. It sounds more professional. Sure. You don't want to say
Why
spot.
National television.
Right. That's one of the ones that I'm like, what the hell? It is national television. Why can't you say that anymore?
I figured it out because we're a global entertainment.
Oh,
we're not
God,
just...
yeah.
Oh, motherfucker, dude. Like, we're global, damn it.
You can't say... The hate one is really stupid to me, but apparently you can't say stupid. Now, what would Ryback do? Ryback used to say stupid all the time.
Stupid.
You can't say hell. You can't say ass.
I made fun of this in the group chat. I was like, Austin316 says, I just kicked your canister. Like,
give me a heck yeah.
Let me tell you something, Rock. I really intensely dislike your intelligent carcass. Like,
and I'm going to pick up that championship title and hit you right with the leather apparatus part of it.
Causing the referee to throw out the bout in ruling of a
no contest and disqualification.
A breach of rules.
Yeah. You can't say hospital. That's been one that's been around for a while. And even tonight on Raw, medical facility. Because hospital just, I don't know, Vince is crazy.
By the way, have you ever gone to a medical facility for either A, a broken face, or B, a shattered elbow?
It's like, you ever get to like a kid in like elementary school lying about something and they're like, nuh-uh, and then they just start saying words that they don't know like how it works in context.
My elbow is shattered.
It's like, oh, dude, I almost died yesterday. No, you didn't. Yeah, I had like a broken face. The medical facility told me that. It's like, you know.
Which is weird because on some levels, like, he doesn't want to say hospital. He wants to say medical facility because it sounds more, I guess,
classier, I guess.
Yeah, but then you're not gonna say the actual part of the elbow. You're just gonna say, well, the elbow is shattered. It's completely shattered.
And let's be honest, anything that's going to make you sound classier gets thrown out the window when you have a guy piss himself on a pay-per-view. It's like, we have to use the King's English. We have to sound proper. So that way when we're laughing about the dude who pisses himself, we're lowbrow. You can't say revenge. So nobody gets revenge on anybody anymore.
Is it vengeance? Is it payback?
And apparently there are no more number one contenders.
Yeah, well, that's actually been a thing, like an unclarified thing. I don't understand that. What are you then? If you're not the number one contender. The top challenger. Because, again, it's got to be contextual. And it's got to be, like, this weird thing of, don't say this, say this. And I'd like to see that, because it's don't say violence, which is ironic. Because last night, the Charlotte beatdown was one of the more violent things I've seen on WWE television all year.
You can't say fat. You can't say...
I can understand. But then again, it's weird because I just go back to the Attitude Era, and it's like, look at him, he's fat.
Right.
Look at his fat ass.
You can't say in the back, so, I mean, we're looking at a company that the people who are doing the interviews just sort of stare off into oblivion, so that makes sense, I guess. But why not? You know, it's in the back. It's in the backstage area. It's a literal stage. We understand that it's a stage.
But again, this is one of those ones I'm assuming is contextual, and it's like, you can't cut a promo and be like, the boys in the back don't like you, and, you know, like, in that context. Like, you can't say spot in that context, but I can't imagine why you wouldn't need to say spot in other situations.
Well, like, in the back, it'd be funny if people are like, you know, the boys in the back. No, you can't say that. And then people go like, we're going to send it to the back with Charlie Caruso. And then they go, nah, we don't like you to say that. We're going to ban in the back. And then it's like, all right, he picked up a steel chair and he hit him not in the front.
In the lower lumbar region of his opposite side.
He hit him in reverse front, according to the medical facility.
So, like, well, this brings up an interesting thing. Roderick Strong is the messiah of the backbreaker. Is he now just the messiah of the reverse front herder?
Oh, the reverse front breaker, yeah. And you can't say girls. And that's another thing, too, where contextual is obviously key, because they're not going to say something like the girls in WWE, because that does seem a little dismissive, because they don't refer to the men as like the boys, but they do kind of every once in a while when it's like me and the boys are doing like this kind of thing. So that's a little like, I think people are getting a little bit too butthurt about that.
Yeah, which is,
but you definitely can't rule out the word girls in general, because it's like lots of girls are big fans of Sasha Banks. Lots of little girls are looking up to Bayley. You can't be like lots of little non-male members of the WWE universe that are very short and not aged too well. It's like, somebody got butthurt someday about the word fat or the word strap or the word hell, and they were just kind of like, nope, we're going to ban this until my mind is occupied with something else. And it's just,
it's bullshit though, because it's like, you use guys as a grouping of a lot of people, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, when I see, like I saw last night, 10 women in a match, I tend to go, oh yeah, it's the girls' match. I don't mean it like, oh, it's the girly match. No, but there's 10 girls in there. Like,
yeah, it's like, well, You check that little like list where it's like the yes no thing. It's like, are they girls? Yes. Okay, then there you go. That's the end of it. It's just that's what it is.
Like, and half of them, they're our age. You ever just think, I'm gonna go to the club and I'm gonna go pick up a lovely woman companion. It's like, no, I'm gonna go see if I can pick up some girls. Like, you don't fucking. Nobody talks like this.
And it's like, you're going out for girls' night.
No, you can't say that.
Nope, we're going out for ladies' night.
No, even ladies is a demeaning term. It's sophisticated woman gathering.
Oh, they would probably ban the word gathering. It would be like, no, it's not a gathering, it's a box social. They can ban all these words, but one thing that they can't ban is Enzo Amore. Now, I talked a little bit about this on the Survivor Series thing, but I definitely want to get your opinion about this because this is not just a one thing. Enzo was kicked off of a Delta plane because he refused to stop vaping, apparently. He tried to clarify afterward that he wasn't necessarily the one vaping, but whatever. And then he pops up at Survivor Series. He's in the second row or third row, and he decides during the AOP and the bar match to stand up and start cutting his old promos. So they throw him out. And as much as this is all crazy, and as much as it made me laugh to see like Liv Morgan tweeted out embarrassing, like stuff like that, the thing that I found the funniest out of all of this is actually a pro Enzo thing. He said, I got a good seat here. You still owe me that chair. Because he had the collectible chair seat. I was like, oh my god, this whole thing was like, what an asshole, what a jackass, what a douchebag. All right, that's pretty good.
And then tonight they had his picture.
Yeah.
Like for I guess for the ticket takers and security, for like banned. Do not let this person in the building. I give him credit because everybody should have been talking about, whatever match was going on. I think it was the AOP and the bar, right?
Yeah.
And then shortly after, it was like the cruiserweights or the 5-on-5. And you're like, nah, but Enzo Amore got thrown out of Survivor Series.
It's a weird situation. And, I mean, he clearly did it because he wanted the attention, and it clearly worked.
And he had a showing tonight in the area, and he just released his full album.
And that was another thing too. After he got kicked out, he put flyers all over everybody's things in the parking lot. It's just like, I kind of commend the guy a little bit, Like, I hate to say it, but
have you heard the album?
No.
There is a song about Liv Morgan on there.
Yeah, is it as awful as I imagine that it would be?
It's called Live 30 for 30. And the way this guy says tiramisu, and I'm not even going to try to imitate Enzo Amore, but it's almost as comical as consensual penis. Like, this dude is a mess. I don't know how he made it to the main roster. I don't know how he got to team with John Cena against AJ Styles on a pay-per-view. This guy is fucking crazy. And by the way, he's not Real One anymore.
Yeah, he's Enzo, right?
His new rap name is Enzo, stylized like NWO, where the Z is the only capital.
It's a better name.
Sure is. Jesus Christ. I really just want him to disappear.
I mean, he probably will. It's going to be one of those things. Eventually it will. But, for the whole situation here, this originally started off like, I started collecting the hot tags last week, of course. And I had down Enzo kicked off the plane. And I thought that was just going to be one of those things like, no, this is what Enzo did. And then Survivor Series happened. And I was like, wow, this is so much bigger story now. Because the plane thing is like, who cares about the plane thing now,
I really thought it was a work at first, because I'm like, there's no way And the Cruiserweight title was on pay-per-view too, and I'm thinking, he's gonna fucking hit the ring. And before I knew it, before the match even starts, he's kicked off, he's thrown out of the show.
Well, I thought it was interesting that he was right behind Tall Lisa. And the guy who looks like James Ellsworth.
He had a good seat. Yeah, I don't know.
Had to be the friends and family discount, right?
Yeah.
They had to be somebody bought the ticket and gave it to him, you know?
That's fun speculation. Who do you think was actually close enough to him?
It can't be Liv.
Yeah.
I don't know, though, because it's not like Liv. Big Cass is there. They're not even like friends anymore, apparently, or something. So it's got to be some.
By the way, credit to Carmella. Carmella was not supposed to be anything. She was like the side act to their little act, and she's the only one that's still with the company.
Yeah, it was kind of like, well, these two guys could use a girl. Well, I said girl.
Oh, fuck. Damn it, Tony.
Sorry, Vince.
You've blown the spot here.
My stupid hell ass things. I know you hate it. Just kill me with a belt strap. Yeah, you won't do that kind of violence. It's fake.
Well, we'll talk about this in the back, Tony. Jesus.
Hey, if you want revenge on me, put it up on national television. We'll find a spot for it. Fat. I can't figure out a way to work that. Some kind of feud. I don't know. So those are the hot tags that I have.
Yeah, I think that's. Oh well, we can talk about this real quick. Becky and Jericho.
Oh, that was funny.
They got into it. Basically, because Jericho said, "Congratulations to WWE for making women's wrestling the hottest thing," and Becky, being Becky, said, "No, that was me." And he goes, "Yeah, and that punch Nia Jax gave you kind of helped a little bit too, didn't it?" And she goes, "Well, the sucker punch was all right, but I actually got the concussion listening to your band." And it's just like, God, I love Becky Lynch.
Oh, she's so good. Give her the belt again. Just give her an extra belt.
Give her all the belts.
And yes, we said belt. All right, so hot tag wise, that's it, everybody. We are interested in hearing what you guys have to say, so drop your comments below. Tell us what you think about all these things. Pay attention to anything else that's happening, and also send us your mailbag questions as soon as you can, because we're going to be recording that sometime on Wednesday, because Thursday is Thanksgiving, so we're not going to be doing it then. But mailbag questions are the next things, and if you want to be aware of when that post gets up on the YouTube channel and up on the website and everything else like that, you have to follow things, because that's how the internet works. So follow us on Facebook and Twitter at SmarkOutMoment. Follow the RSS feed on smarkoutmoment.com if you want to follow that. Hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel and ring the bell for notifications to get the little email alert of that, because sometimes these things don't pop up on the subscription feed section of YouTube. So that is something to be aware of. We've got the Redbubble and the TeePublic if you want to buy a t-shirt or something like that.
Back up. You said Red Bull.
Was it?
You said Red Bull.
Red Bull?
Yeah, you didn't say Redbubble. You said Red Bull.
Is my brain that messed up that I'm just like, Red Bull. We got the Red Bull. Let's see, Bull.
I don't know if buying a t-shirt that says Smark Out Moment on it will give you wings or not, but
it might be.
Worth the shot.
I was thinking about putting up a Monday Night Braun thing. I don't know.
They'll take it down so quick.
It'll get taken. That Suplex City one that I had that one time where he said Suplex City, I put it up like 2 days later, an actual like sign of like a road sign kind of thing, and they took that down like real fucking quick.
I had a t-shirt on a Redbubble I had a few years ago that said Monday Night Rollins, and this is, I think they were still in the Shield, and they took that down within an hour.
Whew.
That was quick.
See, the problem is we should have been uploading these things to Red Bull instead.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have taken it down. They would have floated on.
Yeah, they give you wings.
Another way for you to show your support on the monetary side of things, if you do have the spare change, is to hit up the Patreon, just $1 or $5 or whatever the case may be on that side. And the likes and the favorites and the shares and all the other kind of things like that, all that stuff shows your support as well. So thank you for any of that. It's all greatly, greatly appreciated. Did I mention the mailbag? If I didn't already, send in the mailbag questions. Yes, I did. So, yeah, reiterating that, why not? Follow me at Tony Mango and follow Fanboys Anonymous all over on that site. Just go on the clickety clicks and you'll see a bunch of different things that are happening on different things there. I think that's it from my side of things. Keep paying attention to the wrestling news and all the other kind of stuff I've got going on Bleacher Report and whatnot. Rob?
Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DudeFelice. You should, because a lot of other people don't, and I lose followers at a rapid pace. I do all this stuff for wrestling, and I can't seem to get a following, but, you know, maybe it's because I'm not a girl. Oops.
Just change it to Girl Felice.
Other than that, WrestleZone, you know, it's your daily source for wrestling news outside of wrestling news, which you should keep an eye on. And yeah, that's it. WrestleZone, Dude Felice, and Time Killer Apparel, which if you bought a shirt, it would greatly help me.
Put up a red bold design.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, just do like parody. This one's Blue Bowl. I got blue bowls. Vince McMahon would like that.
I got blue brown bowls. Do you smell what I'm cooking?
Alrighty, everybody. That is it for 364. It's kind of a shame it wasn't 365. We could have talked about the 365 on 365. But hey, you know, that's how things work. And maybe just for that, maybe no more fucking numbers. Just imagine that that's the reason. Just kind of like, we didn't do 365 with 365. Fuck it, no more numbers anymore. Yeah.
Down with the numbers. The numbers are being deleted.
Yeah. And now everybody's got Matt Hardy in their head. So thank you for that. Thank you for listening, everybody. We will see you next time on the mailbag. Adios. This has been another Smark Out moment, and we're being counted out.
Without numbers.